Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is DonBest.com. This is your weekly dose of the MMA Insiders. I am Frank Trigg in Las Vegas, Nevada, and down there in Costa Rica is Nick Kalikas. Nick, how we doing, bud?
Good, man. How's everything?
Doing okay. Can't complain. I am wondering, though, how Bellator snuck up on us at Bellator 77 with such an outstanding main event and co-main event. I wasn't expecting it to be this well matched, but it's kind of shown up to be that way. What's Bellator doing now to get all these fights to come together like this?
Man, they're getting out there. They're going out there and scouting some fresh new talent, especially in Russia, overseas, and even in Brazil. We saw them bring in a lot of different talent. So I think that they're doing a great job. They're finding some untapped guys out there that can definitely come to the States and compete. And the Russians in Bellator are on an extreme roll right now, man. Hard to stop these guys. They got a lot of momentum.
You know, a lot of my friends that are new to MMA are like, "Oh, these Russians. We've finally seen these Russians finally come over. They're like there's some new wave that's coming over here," but they don't realize that if you go back to the old Pride days, you see guys like Igor Vovchanchyn, who was knocking guys unconscious in the very, very beginning, back in the early 2000s, that Russians always had a huge, conglomerate of great fighters. We just never brought them over here to the States, but now Bellator seems to be doing very well with it. And like you said, grabbing other Brazilians that we haven't seen before. This is a really great card, and it kind of surprised me. Marcin Held versus Murat Makhachev is the co-main event. With MMA record, Held has an MMA record of 13-2. Makhachev has an MMA record of 9-0. Both have wins by subs, and a lot of them. Makhachev has MMA record, has 5 wins via sub in his MMA record, and then Held has 7 wins via sub in his. These guys both know the ground game. The question is, who do you think is going to win the stand-up, Nick?
I think you have to give a slight edge to Makhachev because he's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more power on the feet. It's going to be close, though, on the feet, close on the ground. I would give the submission edge a little bit maybe to Marcin Held on the ground. I think he's more capable probably of finishing the fight on the floor, but it's going to be close. I think either one of these guys can finish each other there, but I think the slight edge has to go to Makhachev. Again, on the feet, he's going to have the power and also maybe the ring control. So I think the judges are probably going to lean that way if it does go to the cards.
You know, and traditionally, when you're looking at an American kind of training and trying to push himself together a little bit harder versus a Russian. Traditionally, what has happened in the past, especially even in wrestling when I was competing, is that the Russians tend to fade at the end. They start to run out of gas. But both these guys are so good in the ground game, I don't think gas is going to be an issue. For me on the ground, the difference is I think these guys are both so highly talented, both ground and top. I think that the only difference is that Makhachev will lean back for heel hooks and knee bars sometimes, but only when he's on top, which means he has to be able to take Held down, which I don't think is going to happen. So for me, really, the top game, the stand-up game, is really who's going to be the deciding factor. I'm taking Makhachev in this one. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to go that way, too. Like I said, I think it can be very interesting, and I can see these guys finish each other either way. So, but slight edge to Makhachev. That's why you're seeing him around minus 120, 125 right now.
All right, that makes sense. Okay, let's move on to the main event. And they're doing another job with the Russians. Magomed Sadalov versus Dave Jensen. Sadalov comes with an MMA record of 14-1, 8 wins via sub. He's a highly rated European prospect, trained with Greg Jackson's right now down at Albuquerque. Jensen, MMA record of 16-2, 9 wins via sub. He's beat Rich Congleton is one of his major accomplishments. Both these guys, again, are great on the ground. What's the line and who do you see winning it?
Well, line around 150, 160 right now for Jansen, so he's a slight favorite too. No big, huge favorites on this whole card, so Bellator did a great job with matchmaking here. I think Jansen has the slight edge for a reason here. He's got that WEC experience, so he's been in with a lot better competition. And I think usually Sadalov, when he gets to the floor, he's able to control ground and pound and kind of have his way with most people. He's not going to have it that easy with Jansen. He might be able to get a takedown or two, but Jansen scrambles well. He throws up subs off his back. He has a nasty guillotine. It's going to be an interesting battle on the floor, but on the feet again, I'd have to favor Jansen. I think that's where he's probably going to get it done. So they could finish each other, or we could see another decision. It's going to be interesting, but I'd favor Jansen for sure.
And is that who you're taking too, is Jansen? Is that your pick?
Yeah, that's my pick. I think Jansen, he's very underrated, man, and been for a long time. I think the kid's a stud, and hopefully he gets the win and keeps on rolling to Bellator.
Yeah, I agree with you too. And I actually, this weekend, we both agree. I'm taking Jansen as well. So we agree both on the co-main event and the main event. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is another edition of MMA Insiders here on DonBest.com.